Hey guys, it's John from Metric Works. Just following up with the fuel leak that we have on the 2007 Toyota Tacoma. Thought I'd take a couple minutes and show you how far I am. So to remove the bed, there are 6 of these bolts. They are a T55, which is a Torex. 2 back here. And 1 up front. I also removed the 2 taillights. 3 bolts holding them in. 1, 2, 3. And they were a 10mm. They just popped out. I did the clip. So guys, just moving the power inverter plug. Force Torex. I think they're T30s. This should come right out, get at the connector on the back, and all the wiring should be free from the box. So guys, to get the filler neck out, all you have to do is remove the gas cap and it will lift right up out of the hole in the box. Alright guys, my buddy stopped by. He gave me a hand to take the box off the Tacoma. Mr. Forklift helped us. Everybody should have a forklift. It's the bottom of the box. Toyota tailgate. Why do I have it hung up in the air like that? I really don't know. Thought it'd be cool. Let me go put it back down and we'll have a look at the truck. So guys, what we did was just ran 2 ratchet straps diagonally across the box, put the forklift through it, and it was good to lift. The only other thing that I probably didn't get a video of was disconnecting the wiring along this back ridge underneath your tailgate. There's a couple of places where the wiring snaps onto. It's very simple. As anybody watching this wondering if taking the box off their own truck is for them, I've probably been at this 20 minutes. Now I did have a forklift, I did have a buddy here for a couple of minutes, I did use an impact gun, but it's pretty damn simple. You could do this in a driveway, minus the forklift. You could get a couple of buddies over and do this yourself, not a problem. So here it is. So again, this truck had a new frame under the Toyota recall, probably 2 years ago. So this is the fuel sending unit underneath this. This actually unscrews. There are starts in the top of this cap that act as locks. So if you are removing the sending unit, you have to, I think, push these in so they will go past the lock in the cap. This is your power for your fuel pump and your fuel gauge. I'm believing this is your return line, and this is your high pressure line. Now these take, I believe, special fuel line fitting tools to take apart. Don't quote me on that, I might be wrong. But I believe if you see the yellow tabs here, if you pull these back, you should be able to remove them. So I haven't touched this, and if you can see here, it looks like the return line here is it's very loose. I don't think it was even connected in correctly. I'm willing to bet that that's the problem. You can see that the yellow connector is actually on top of the lip. This yellow connector is underneath the black lip of the fuel line fitting. Let me go start this up and see what happens. As you can see, the fuel is coming out around the return line. It filled up on top of the sending unit, and now it's running down the side of the tank. Guys, this is going to be an easy fix. Let me go turn off the truck. So as we suspected, the fuel return line, this is the culprit right here. You can see how this clip was not inserted properly to hold the fuel line down into the top of the sending unit, thus leaking all the gas out. I'm guessing the miles of dirt road that this truck sees every second weekend probably shook this loose and allowed it to leak. Alright guys, we're back. Just had to go download the video I have taken already. The iPhone said it was full, and I wanted to capture the rest of this so I could share it with you guys. I also cleaned off the top of the sending unit with a bit of brake parts cleaner. You can see these starts. They're here to keep the locking ring from coming loose. As you can see down here, this start is up. It's pretty close to the lock. To undo this lock ring, you have to push in these little tabs, as you can see, and that will allow it to get by the raised up knob, the locking knob. I also pulled out the return line. Again, just to review, it wasn't connected in properly. You can see, to be connected in properly, the yellow needs to be above the shoulder of the fuel line. There's a nice little shoulder on that, so the yellow locking tab needs to be up on top of this. And I'm guessing when Toyota did the frame, they must have missed this part. No odds. That's why we're here. So to get this locking tab out, all you have to do, you should be able just to squeeze. There you go. Squeeze it and it'll come out. See how that one went down and snapped, kind of. It went right into the locking part. It goes over. And I'm probably going to have to go get a little screwdriver to do this correctly. Let's have a look. No, that should do it. I'd just like to clarify something I said earlier, which I know is a mistake. This truck does not, you do not need the fuel line fitting tool, at least for right here. I'm not sure on the rest of the truck, as this is an adventure for me as well. I usually dealing with first gen Tacomas, and I know that the last time I did a sending unit, dealt with the tank, I didn't have the fuel line tool, so I just assumed that it would be used here also. So to get these in properly, you can see, there's little locking tabs that go out around and hold it in. That yellow clip cost me a tow off the highway, about 2 hours, Canada Day weekend. I'm lucky the place where I work had a car trailer that I could have a loan of. My brother-in-law was grateful enough to come out and get me and tow me back. So really it was better than the alternative. Dealing with this on the highway, it was raining out, and just having a fuel leak that was this bad with a child in the back seat, in a car seat, it just didn't seem like the recipe for a good time. I decided to say no, I can't chance it, couldn't chance anything like that. So I called in a couple favors and got towed back. So I'm going to give this a quick wipe off and make sure those connections are nice and snug. Start the truck, make sure it's not leaking, and I guess we'll go back to the reassembly process. So I think we got that all buttoned up. Just having one last look around. I do have a rear end seal from Toyota that I picked up that I will be putting in this truck. I have a set of leafs. I'm going to pick up some new rear shocks. And I also need a muffler, as my tailpipe has fallen off and it's worse for wear. It's making a bit of noise. It's been patched by the previous owner before. Not a great job, but I can't complain. The Toyota leaf springs, I wanted to show you guys this. So if you can see, I don't know if that you can hear that, but that's in the rear end. I'm thinking that's the locking limited slip. My rear end seems to have a lot of play in it, and kind of up and down, we'll say. As you can see it twisting with the torque of just me. I don't know if you can see that. Alright guys, the bed went back on without issue. Lined up the filler neck, let it down with the forklift. Everything just kind of fell into place. I took a 1/2-inch impact gun with the T55 and zipped those bolts that hold the bed down. Didn't over tighten them. Don't really like going too tight with the impact gun, especially on a Torex. Snug them up with the torque wrench after. Guys, if you guys are following me and my YouTube channel, you know that I live in Canada, in Newfoundland to be exact. We deal with a lot of rust, so there's a couple things that I like to do when I'm putting things back together. One of them is anti-seize. Now this is not the anti-seize that I would normally buy and use, but it's what I have available to me at the time. Bit of anti-seize put on the threads of all those 6 bolts. The other thing is I like to use dielectric grease, or this is corrosion preventive sealant for electrical connections. It's to prevent corrosion and moisture from getting into your, say, taillight connections. Although they should be sealed, it just gives it a bit of added security. I've taken the time to fish up the taillight connectors from underneath, and I've routed the power source for the inverter out through. The next thing I'm going to do is smear some dielectric grease on the ends of it, install the power inverter plug, which I don't think I've ever used, but who knows, maybe one day I'll use it. Install the tail lights and get underneath and zip tie up the wiring harness to the frame where it was, and then hopefully take it home tonight.